Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Bossers Network. I am back in the building with my two favorite co-hosts. Joining me, the enlightened and excited Eddie V, is the one, the only boss man himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me back to this wonderful program.
Yes, and of course,
after we turned it into a Kingdom Hearts fest last week.
Well,
it was a good time though.
Thanks, Laurent. None of you guys walked away. I was able to hear you guys say all the things that you wanted to say.
That's what we do.
And of course, the gallivanting Galutrad himself, Mr. Chico Taylor.
What's going on, Ed? Hey, Corey, speaking of Kingdom Hearts, why is Sora the best character for Super Smash Brothers?
Why is he the best character for Super Smash Brothers?
Because he Sora's above the rest.
Ah, good one. I like it.
Thank you.
Love it. I love it. I love every joke that makes Ed just cry himself. I love it.
I forgot to do one last week, and I'll have to remember what it was, but it was actually really good.
Is it a Monster Hunter one?
No, it was Legend of Zelda themed, I believe. I can't remember now, but yeah. Anyways.
All right. How you guys doing? How was your weekend? Jacob, how was your weekend?
Man, my weekend was crazy. I've been dealing with a hernia and like getting surgery for said hernia and talking to several doctors and being like, I'd go to a doctor and they'd tell me I need to go to a surgeon. They'd be like, "Yep, you have a hernia. You need surgery." I was like, "Great." So they put me in the point of a surgeon. I go to the surgeon. "Yeah, you have a hernia. You need surgery." "Great. When's the surgery?" "Now you have to go talk to this guy." And it's like just 3 times I had to go talk to somebody just so they could all push me in my stomach, make me hurt, and say, "Yeah, you need surgery." It's like, yes, I know. It's a hernia. It doesn't heal itself.
What kind of open world talk the walk game are you?
Dude, I know. It's been rough, man. It's been
Next
rough.
episode of Talk the Walk is Hernia Simulator.
Yeah, right. In other news,
it's actually a 30-hour RPG.
Right.
Jeez. You're like knocked out for half of it because of the drugs after your surgery. In other news, I beat Metroid Dread in 3 hours and 7 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, thank you. Got those normal mode things. Now I have to do that with hard mode. So
nice. Do it. I'm
going to.
Metroid Dread is so good.
I know, dude. We don't need to spend another podcast episode talking about how amazing it is. Game of the year. And that's a year when Monster Hunter came out for me. Like,
I'm gonna get Monster Hunter soon.
Good, we'll play.
Yay!
My next two games on my list.
Yep.
Mario Party Superstars.
Yeah.
And Monster Hunter Rise.
Good.
Because I'm skipping.
Those are excellent.
I'm skipping Pokemon, so I'm.
Shame on
Mario Party is gonna be my November game, even though it comes out in October. But
yeah,
Monster
it comes
Hunter.
out like 3 days left in October. It might as well be
right.
The only reason it's not in November is because Pokemon is in November.
Yeah, I don't care about Pokemon at all.
Which is
I do, but not these ones.
Which is crazy because yes, Mario Party is dropping, which I'll be also getting, and then Voice of Cards, the game that I've been ranting and raving about on getting that for Square Enix, and it's only digital. Boo, Square Enix. This needs to be a physical game because it's good.
Digital only, except for Zelda. I will buy a physical, but also digital because it's Zelda.
Yes, and then I'll get the $120, which I need to pre-order. Pokemon.
Corey, Aaron Domingos in the chat says he can't stay if you're skipping Pokemon, so you're gonna have to go ahead and buy Pokemon there.
I will say that I bought Pokemon, and then not buy Pokemon.
I'll send you screenshots that you can send to him.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I will send you screenshot proof that Pokemon was played on a Switch.
Look,
recently.
A certain event is happening in November, so I will just leave it at that.
Look, here's the thing. I will play a very great remake of Red and Blue. Okay? not these Let's Go pieces of garbage.
What
I'll play.
Hold on. I'm Ed, first off, how are you? How was your week?
My week was busy at work. I don't know what
That's
this.
not true. I saw you online playing games all day, all night. You're texting me, "Oh, look, I just played whatever this game is, and it's amazing." And I'm playing 40 other games now.
Metroid
No,
Dread
no,
2.
I did not. So I played games Friday, yes, but Saturday and Sunday I didn't really get to play that much because of work.
Mm.
We were busy. I don't know why. The fall weather just brings people to our store to, buy snacks abundantly. And people been buying the COVID tests like crazy. Yeah, we literally been busy. But I kind of had a good one, and uh I just getting ready for November and the holiday season. But other than that, yeah, it was okay. It was just busy at work.
Let me tell you who wasn't busy at work today. This guy.
Yay!
Yay.
I'm not working this week.
Dude, that's
At
awesome. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, it was so my last day at my job was Saturday, and it was weird because this is only like the third job I've ever quit, and it's like quitting is always like it's like this weird concept for me, even if it's a job that you just like, okay, yeah, it's paying the bills, but whatever. And I'm gonna miss the one coworker that I was really good friends with. She's like one of the hardest workers I've ever met, and I'll miss that. But then when you leave and you kind of realize all the BS you don't have to deal with, and you have new BS on the horizon.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm excited for my new job, though. I'm really excited I want to talk about it, but I know it's not like a Nintendo thing, so I might talk about it on the Boss Rush podcast.
Or maybe
I'm excited.
It is. You don't know. We don't know.
I mean, it's
Only
basically
Corey knows.
it's basically what we're doing with the Boss Rush website and social media, but for a company that's going to pay me to do it.
Oh,
So,
yay. Well, excellent.
Yay.
like back-end WordPress management and social media management and editing videos and podcasts and graphic design stuff. So
Nice.
they're gonna, I won't be the main person editing, but I told them that helping is in my skill set. So
Yes.
we'll see. I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Well, guys, with that, we're gonna get into Snacktendo. Corey, what have you been snacking on?
I've been snacking on some. I ate a ton of ice cream in the last 2 days. So.
Welcome to the club.
chocolate fudge brownie ice cream.
Ooh.
Two huge, just like the little pints of it. It's just whatever. I ate 2 of them in 2 days. So
What brand? Like Ben and Jerry's or?
I don't know. I don't know. It's
Bluebell
just
or
delicious.
bust.
It was like I forget what it's called. Like fudge, whatever. Chocolate ice cream with brownie fudge chunks in it. Delicious. That's what I've been snacking on.
All right. Jacob, what have you been snacking on?
So I haven't really been snacking on a whole lot again because of the hernia. It makes me feel really sick to my stomach all the time, and so the idea of eating doesn't appeal to me right now. But against my better judgment, knowing that I have a hernia and an upset stomach, I made chili. Specifically, I made Frito pie today. I made a vegan Frito pie. I say vegan. It was vegetarian because the cheese that I bought was Carolina Reaper cheese.
What?
Yeah, it was cheese infused with habanero, jalapeno, and Carolina Reaper extract. And it was so good. It was cheese, right? So it was creamy, but it had that beautiful kick to it from the Carolina Reaper and the habanero and the jalapeno. Oh my god, it was so delicious. It made it I specifically got stuff to make a non-mild chili or a mild chili because I knew this would be hot, and oh dude, that was so delicious. I'm gonna end up having delicious. That more. Yeah.
So I
enjoy a good spice to my food. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I started.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's a place down the street called Casa del Rio that's like it's our go-to now instead of Chipotle for burritos and stuff. Well, my wife gets taco salad. She's tiny and I gotta eat a salad because I'm a pretty lady. And I get the biggest, fattest burrito I possibly can. And it started instead of so I started getting the grilled onions and jalapenos on it, which is very good.
Ooh.
But also they have habanero salsa.
You told me about this.
And let me tell you, it is so good. It is so good. But my mouth is on fire every time because they always put it's one of those places that whatever you tell them to put on, they put way too much of everything on.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. But this, man, it's hot.
Yeah.
That's on our list to go when I come down next year, hopefully.
Very good.
Yes.
Anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Just habanero, spicy, good time.
Well, and Jacob, it is a good season to have chili.
It is.
And I love a good chili dog, or even though this is not chili, I love a good Sloppy Joe during this fall.
Sloppy Joe.
Yes.
So chili, absolutely, yes. It's getting colder. It was like 78 degrees today, I think, was the high in Texas, which is awesome. Like, we've had it because of our ice apocalypse that we had at the beginning of the year. It's been really mild the rest of this year, so it's been actually kind of enjoyable. But my dad actually makes a hamburger stew every year as it starts to get colder. And this year, I'm going to ask him to make me like a separate batch with like either Beyond Meat or Impossible Burger meat. But like, oh dude, that is killer. Like, you put that, he'll make a huge pot of it, like a jumbo pot of it, and then we'll scoop up some of this hamburger stew into like thermoses and go to like the parade, and we'll all just be sitting there sipping on hamburger stew. And like,
oh,
nice.
And it's like chunky too, so like every now and then you gotta duck back to like get a nice big chunk of stuff in your mouth. Yeah, it's so good though, man. It's like, it's what rings in the holidays for me.
Nice.
Well, everybody, since I missed last week,
oh boy, here he goes. Big list of snacks.
But I had the nacho seasoning pork rinds. Never knew that they made them. And I've already bought like 4 bags. They are good. They outbeat barbecue pork rinds and pork rinds with hot sauce in them. Man, it really tastes like a nacho plate. And it's not too spicy. It just depends on the pork rind is dry or not. Because sometimes the pork rinds be kind of hard, and then there'll be some that's kind of crispy, and you get that good crunch when you taste it and everything. But yeah, I already bought like 3 or 4 bags of it, and I love it. It's became my new pork rinds for it. So the nacho seasoning pork rinds, if you can find a company that makes them, go ahead and get them. Okay, so I'm going to get judged for this. I tried Mountain Dew with Dole pineapple juice.
That sounds delicious. Why would you get judged? That actually sounds amazing.
And yes, because there is a pineapple Mountain Dew, the Thai Blast, the movie Thai that's out, like at the Dollar General. And I was trying to see if I could recreate it to see how it is. It does sound good, but the Dole pineapple juice is too sweet.
Yeah.
Than the Mountain Dew. So you don't even get to, like, you taste a little bit of the Mountain Dew, but you taste so much of the Dole pineapple. Go ahead.
If you don't mind me asking, like, what was your ratio?
So for this one, I dumped because I got a 20-ounce, one of the little ones in the freezer. So I had a Taco Bell large cup, that they give, and I poured the whole Mountain Dew in, and then I poured the whole Dole pineapple because it's only like in the.
You got to
it
do
was
about like a third.
Yeah, this sounds like this sounds like if you try it again, I would do like a
Yeah.
shot of the Dole pineapple and a regular Mountain Dew
Yeah,
size.
because I actually thought that the Mountain Dew, I thought the acid in the Mountain Dew would like make it less sweet, the
Yeah.
dough, and I didn't know that the sweetness in the dough in the pineapple juice just overpowered everything. So yeah, I probably would, because I did it even with the Mountain Dew mystery dew. I even did it with that, but I did the same thing. I didn't do no ratio or anything. To see if I could like how would this taste and everything. So if I try it again, I might have to do that. Just probably put in like a little bit and then pour in the Mountain Dew and just give it a try, like mix it up and stuff. Because I haven't mixed Mountain Dew or drinks in a while like that. I haven't like tried to create. I'm like, what if I did this and how I do it that? It was just a nice kind of taste test. Got some cosmic brownies, Twizzlers, and and a burrito bowl from Chipotle I had. Which I don't get the beans now in it. I just say no beans, give me all the sides, and I get the chicken. I tried that little new steak thing that they had, and I was just like, no, this is too dry. Like
Steak?
the
carne asada stuff.
Whatever they've been promoting for Chipotle, like their new kind of meat.
I think they've been promoting the chorizo stuff.
Oh,
have they not? I don't know. It's been so long since I've been to Chipotle. I just,
Yeah, because I don't have no real Mexican like place around me. That one is like a 45-minute drive, and I'm at work, so I can't really go anywhere to get one.
That attitude. Just drive.
Yeah.
So. Ed, sorry to interrupt. Is the mystery flavor the same as the Mountain Dew Voodoo flavor?
Yes.
Okay.
So, because it tastes like Skittles.
Okay.
So it was Voodoo, but I think they switched it to Mystery Dew now because they only do it during Halloween.
Okay. I think I've told you this, but after you posted about the Thrash and Apple, Becca was like on a hunt for those, and she finally got it recently. But I was also trying to help her hunt for it, and I found that Voodoo flavor, and she loved that flavor apparently. So
yes,
I guess the mystery one's pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen some gas stations carry the Thrash and Apple, but someone said Kroger has that exclusively too, though, and I'm like, Kroger has it. I'm like, okay,
that's actually where she found it, so that makes
where she
sense.
found it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I thought it would have a cider taste, but it's green apple, so that's what just like, oh, okay, I see what they was going for. Yeah. But yeah, that is my snack Tendo, everybody. We're gonna get into a new little segment. I'm putting Game Fact events hold for this week because I got a good one for next week. Since we're almost gonna be going into Halloween. So this one is called Spooky Findings.
Wow.
I want to ask you guys, what was your first spooky game you played or seen that surprised you or scared you? Jacob.
Man, my first spooky game. Okay, so I actually, funnily enough, I was talking about this on my stream, on Thursday or maybe Wednesday, because I actually don't get scared of video games a whole lot. Jump scares get me even if it's not a spooky game, even if it's like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like if something pops up like a jump scare, I'll react to it. But I do remember, like, when I was very little, I played, I want to say it's Batman Returns on the SNES.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, yeah. I played Batman Returns on the SNES, And I remember being like kind of creeped out by that because it was like the darker theme to it because it was a Batman game. It was actually I believe that was my introduction to Batman, and I just remember being very like kind of creeped out by that. Maybe it wasn't Batman Returns. Hold on.
Yeah, because Batman Returns was the beat 'em up game by Konami for Super
Yeah,
Nintendo.
it was. It was Batman. It was Batman Forever on the SNES.
From McLean.
Yes, yeah. That game specifically, I believe you start off in like a museum or something, like an office building. And I remember that the music was very like do 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 do, and like I remember just not feeling. I felt uneasy, but I was a little kid. I never beat that game because I just kind of got bored with it. I got Super Mario at some point, and that was my game that I played. But like I do have vivid memories of me being just like at unease from that because I didn't know what to expect. But I still think that's kind of like the jump scare type of thing.
Okay. What about you, Corey? What was your first spooky game you played or seen that surprised you or scared you?
Well, I could say Sewer Shark on Sega CD, but I'm not going to do that because that game was weird. But I remember the first time my friend in elementary school showed me Resident Evil, the first one. And where you walk through the hallway and like the dogs jump through the window, or like that opening scene where you walk down and you enter the room and you see the zombie turn around for the first time. And that was pretty scary to someone in like, I don't know, how old was I when Resident Evil came out? Like it was scary, man. So
I think 1997. Yeah, because I ended up buying that game at Montgomery Wards.
Way to age yourself there, Ed. I wouldn't have even admitted that.
Yeah, right now that I'm old. Oh, go ahead.
I'm actually playing through Resident Evil. I should say I'm trying to play through Resident Evil for the first time ever, and the only thing scary about that game is how annoyingly frustrating it is.
Yeah. No, I admit the first game is like, it's not scary at all. The first game, I would actually argue Zero's not really that scary either.
Yeah.
But like, you know, everything that came out, well, all the remakes, especially after that, are just like, you know, I mean, I don't think 4, 5, or 6 are that scary because they're just straight up action games, right? But the 2 and 3 remakes are scary. Like they're just like atmospheric, the sound design, like it's just hard pass for me on all spooky games.
So Ed, why don't you go? And then I actually want to talk about that because I want to know why you have that feeling.
Okay, so for me, as a kid, my brother, he had a Sega Master System. He had it, and with the Sega Master System, it had 2 cartridge slots. It had one for a cartridge and then one for a card. It was called the Sega card. And one of the Sega cards is called Ghost House. On the cover, you see a hand holding up this card with bats on it. And you are this kid who is in like this 3-level kind of house where your goal is to kill Dracula and get his and like defeat him to get a key so you get some jewels and everything. And it was always like nerve-wracking because when you actually got the key and you about to fight Dracula and everything, he was kind of hard to defeat because the music would change and he would turn into a bat and just fly around. And I would get so nervous and kind of like kind of scared because I'm like, I don't want to like lose or anything, because if I lose, it shows that the main player falls down like he's dead, and he loses everything, and it was nerve wracking because as a kid, like I think I was like 7 years, no, yeah, I was 6 years old when this game came out because it was in 1986, and trying to, I was a person that liked to beat games, play anything, and it always made me nervous and kind of scared because I would be like, okay, I'm fighting Dracula, I'm hitting it, but okay, now he'll like I'll sometimes defeat him, but because there are times where you only get 2 seconds to get to him, his heart return make him come back, and you have to fight him all over again. And then it just I was just like, I can't do this because Dracula was just he was tense and terrifying. With it. So for me, my first game is Ghost House, and I advise people to go look it up on YouTube and get like a feel for it.
Okay.
But
Uh, Ghost House. That's interesting. I'll have to look that up. But so you also, Ed, it's mentioned you were afraid for your character dying. Like,
yes.
you were afraid to die. Why? Like, this is something that I don't get, right? I don't have I have like a disconnect with this in my brain. I don't understand why people are like I get upset when like a side character dies.
Mhm.
And when I say upset, I'm like, oh man, why did they have to die? Like, but like, because they don't come back, right? But if you die, you just restart at the last checkpoint. So like,
That's
why
the thing
is that?
about it. There's
ahead.
no checkpoint.
So
And
like,
if you die, everything that you collected, you gotta redo all over
okay.
again.
So then it's not, you're not afraid of the character dying. You're upset that you have to start over again.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like when I get close to the heart, Dracula he comes back and he's like attacking you, and it's just like and you just don't know because you are on your way to get it, to collect his heart so you could get the jewel. I mean to get the key, and it just he goes right back to being Dracula
Yeah.
fighting you, and so it was kind of like the tense thing about me back in the 80s and a little bit of the 90s was if I die, I had to do everything over again because there weren't a thing called checkpoints for us. Like the only game that I could think of a checkpoint was Mega Man. That was the only game that literally had a checkpoint. If you died in some of the old retro school games, you would have to do a whole bunch of stuff over.
But like, so take a game from like now, right? If you were to sit down and play Resident Evil 8 Village, which I think is 8, right?
Yeah.
Like, would you be scared of dying? Would you like freak out if you were about to die as your character?
I wouldn't be freaked out of dying because I know that it's gonna put me at that save point, at that last point or something, and all I gotta do is get used to it. It's adapt.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of the problem with spooky or survival horror games of now, is that you adapt to death in the games because you know you're going to come back and everything. So I mean there are games that do pull out the jump scares and everything, but you normally end up preparing yourself for that jump scare. I think the last kind of inventive game with scares was Eternal Darkness, because that sanity meter that affected your game, when it said that your sanity was so high that a menu screen said your game progress has been erased, and then it flashed to the game, it scared people because that's half of the whole game, and people thought that you would have to restart from the beginning to redo everything. It was a sanity meter trick, and it was just like, it's cool that they put this in and then fix the gameplay, because your sanity could get so high, you will see an enemy and that enemy is not really there. So you're attacking or racing animal on something that's not really there.
Okay. See, so I actually started Eternal Darkness because I had enough with Resident Evil 1, and like I'm not far in it. I just I just got to the third, I want to say, character that you play as. So you play as like the main girl, and then you play as Augustus, and then you play as the third girl or the second girl, third character. And like, I'm sure it's gonna get like weirder with stuff, but like that game is so funny to me. Especially like, and we were talking about it in chat, but like the sound design, you swing that sword and it sounds like somebody's punching you.
Yeah, and see, and that's why, and we're gonna get to family news a little bit. That's why I want to save the game for the vets, because there is a certain person who is, in a sense, kind of the king of horror, for video games, and I will talk about some of the games that this person made and who it is. If people already should know who this is, and you haven't heard of it, tune in next week for Nintendo Pow Block. You will be surprised. And hopefully you go be able to look up his games and play them. I think that's why I feel like Metroid Dread with the Emmy, they do Mercury System Steam or whatever, MS.
Yeah.
They do such a good job with making you feel tense. You know, it's that grabbing it, and if you know how to time to save yourself, that's good. But if you don't know, and you just like and you just go into it, you gotta adapt to it and everything until you get your power, and you that's when you feel like the scariness is gone. And so Mercury, they did a good job with that. But yeah.
Okay.
So, and hopefully, when I play games with Corey, when I come down, hopefully we do get to try a horror game.
Yeah.
Because I think it's not. Is it Blue Stinger, Corey, that you still have?
Corey walked away from the camera. Yeah. So.
Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm looking at notes, so I'm not able to see it.
No,
but yeah, that was the thing with me with horror. As spooky games, is that they, back in the 80s and 90s, they were kind of treated like platform games, so there wasn't a real scare like it is now.
Yeah.
Like with Alone in the Dark and Resident Evil and things like that. Those changed the thing of horror and survival horrors, definitely, like with Silent Hill and stuff. So it's just a tense feeling of knowing that if I die, I have to do everything over. So it makes me focus, but I'm still tense. I'm not shaking. I'm like, my hands get sweaty, and I feel the fear, because my fear is, if I get this last hit off of him, I win. If he gets this last hit off of me, I lose. And so now it's a battle, and I get tense when those kind of battles happen.
Yeah, I guess I get that. For me, it's always very much like if I'm given a situation in a game, I go into it gung ho, like all guns blazing, and then if I die, depending on how far back it puts me, that will then change my aspect of how I do something, right? But like Resident Evil, right? The reason I got so upset with Resident Evil and ended up rage quitting, it's not a bad game. It's a great game. In fact, I totally see why people love the series, even from this first one, that admittedly, a lot of the people that have come into my chat and talked about it have been like, oh yeah, Resident Evil 1 is really unfair. Is that like, I personally don't care enough to put myself through that same thing over and over again, just because like the camera angle makes it so that a zombie can jump out and kill me, and I have to go back to the last part I saved, and saving is scarce because of that's just a factor of the game. Like that's not scary to me. That's just annoying to the point where like I don't want to play the game. And I get that like that's a me thing, right? But that's why I was wondering, like, is that actually scary to people? Are the zombies in the new games, are those scary to people, or are those like, is it just because like you don't want to, is it just the frustration of having to start over from a certain spot that people are confusing or misplacing with this idea of being afraid?
So with Resident Evil, the original ones, and even the director's cut, is that it was the scarce ammunition. You know, you can't rapid fire. You can't waste ammo. Everything is
Oh,
precious to you.
yeah. Tell
And
you about
so
that.
when people haven't played games where you need to manage stuff, they they feel underpowered, and which is supposed to bring the fear. So when you are needing, like when you are fighting certain enemies and you need that health, well, there isn't no herb or that rare herb for you to mix to go get that health and stuff. And definitely, if you're trying to do a speed run or anything on the first try, you're not trying to use the first aid. So managing that stuff and just being sure that you have it uh, was something that was new to people. You know, of course, with the dogs jumping out the window, that was fine. But then you get like to the liquors and a little bit into further to the game, and you are like, what is this craziness? Because they're invisible and you can't see them until they come in, and it scared people because they never dealt with enemies that are, you know, they never dealt with enemies that are invisible and how, you know, how they handle them. So you got to come up with strategies on the like right there and everything. So it's kind of like there's people are get scared with that because they don't know, they're not familiar with that, they don't know what to do. So instead of going head on into it, yeah, taking some deaths and everything, there people think that they're supposed to be able to get to a section of a game, do it in one try and be able to move on. But survival horror is not like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's the reason that I got so upset with Resident Evil is because I'm at a point, and again, I can't stress this enough. I know it's because I'm just stupid. I know that I'm missing something, and like I, as the player, am the one making the mistake. But like I'm at this point in Resident Evil where I have no idea what to do. I've
Hmm.
already used up all of the healing that's like readily available to me. So like I feel like I have to progress in order to get healing, but I don't know how to progress. And anytime I try something, if it's wrong and I die, then I have to go through all of that again. And so
So
it's like there's not even like a oh well it's okay that I tried all these different things because it took me like 10 seconds to get to it
mhm.
and try it, right? Like the whole thing is just a slog to get to trying something new. And then if I spend all this time getting there and then I do it and it's not the answer and I don't get to progress, then I'm like, well, I just wasted all that time for no reason.
Yeah, so the progression part is all the puzzles that you're
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah. And
get
that's
through.
why I'm like, I
And
know it's because I'm stupid and I can't figure it out. But
so yeah, so I think you're supposed to look at what item do you have to go to the puzzle, because there should be notes that you get into
yeah,
that you make, that you could look in and be like, okay, I need to get to this room. Look at the map, be like, okay, I'm here, and like you got to plan out. And once you plan out and like insert that key or that jewel or whatever, it'll give you something to progress again, to put that thing into another thing to progress. You're progressing to get to the bosses.
yeah,
And when you get to that boss and you defeat them, you're making further progress with the story and everything, in a sense.
yeah.
So,
All right.
but I think playing Eternal Darkness, you made the right choice.
Yeah,
I
no,
should
I'm,
say.
I'm, I, as goofy as the game is to me, I really enjoy it. Like, I'm having way more fun with it than I thought
Mhm.
I would. I thought Resident Evil was going to be the game that I'd have more fun with. Um, just because, like, the like shock factor of Eternal Darkness is
Yeah,
gone because I've heard so many people talk about it before. That like all and plus the like thing with the volume that doesn't work on modern TVs. Like that's not how volume looks anymore, and
yeah.
all these, so like that factor of it is kind of gone to me. But like just gameplay wise, it's way more fun to me than Resident Evil is. So I'm enjoying it for sure.
Yes. Well, everybody, before we get into the family news, I forgot to show you guys this. So last week, I was in Alberton, Wisconsin with Jesse, and we went to the half price bookstore. And it's gonna be hard to see, but I got this.
Yo, cool.
This is the Super Mario Odyssey, the art of Super Mario Odyssey.
That's awesome, dude. That's like a full hardcover
Yes.
art book. That's cool, man.
This thing was originally $50, and I got it for $25.
Ooh, dang, getting them deals. You're gonna have to post some of those pictures on Twitter or something, man.
Yes, I will. Shout out to Jesse because he found the book, and he's just like, Ed, you might want this, and I snatched.
Oh, good.
And my other one,
I think your microphone came out or something.
yeah,
There we go. Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody, for this one, but I got the Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition for Switch, new game plush.
Oh my god, that's so cute. For those of you just listening, it comes with a plushie Ori. It's adorable. Yeah. It kind of looks like Stitch, to be honest with you. Like, that's the vibe I get from the plushie, but like it makes sense. It's so cute.
And it comes with a digital code for the game. So, Jacob, do you own?
I don't own Ori and the Blind Forest, but I'm sure you can give that to somebody who somebody else. In fact, I still owe you another copy of Metroid Dread, man. Because you for those of y'all who don't know, I did a giveaway, and Ed actually won my giveaway. And then it was this whole thing. He was working. I ended up giving it to somebody else, but I owe him a copy of or something. I owe him something. So, no.
Yes.
Maybe we can Pow Block can be giving away a copy of Ori to our Boss Rush Network Twitter followers.
Yes, we could probably do that. Yes, and it is the definitive edition. So,
all the DLC and stuff.
Yes. The reason why I don't need it is because I own I own the physical version of the definitive when I am 8-bit produced the collector's edition. Nice. It was like $100. So I have Ori 1 and 2 for Switch physical copies on there.
Nice.
Yeah, but I haven't looked through the Mario book yet. I cannot wait to look through it and everything. But thank you, Jesse, for helping me out. I'm already making plans to go back to Appleton next year. Once you get to certain restaurant, I'm gonna go up there because we didn't get to try all the food there. So we're gonna probably, get some food, head back to his house and watch some Netflix and like literally just laugh. Cause yeah, talking to Jesse while watching TV, like doing commentary was like literally fun. It was such a bomb. But everybody, we're gonna get into Family News. In our first story, Eon Must Die had a surprise release last week. It also had a big controversy that followed right along with it last year. To sum it up, a lot of situations during production of the game was disastrous and unethical. All alleged at the moment, but if you remember seeing the trailer on the PlayStation showcase last year, did it grab your interest in what happens when news about a game could hurt the resale? And like, just to give you guys a little thing, and I'm gonna put this in the chat if you watching us on Twitter. This is on Fanbyte, and they kind of talked about posted the story with some updates that what all went on. And so if you guys want to read it, you can. Just quickly, it says, Eon Must Die is a beat 'em up by Limestone Games that is released on PC and console. Since the game revealed last year during the PlayStation State of Play presentation, it also been the subject of a public controversy between the studio and several ex-employees who left the company last year as they claimed poor working conditions. This includes endless crunch, harassment, abuse, corruption, and manipulation. On top of this, ex-developers claim Limestone doesn't own all of the Eon Must Die IP, saying that much of the animation work seen in the game and this trailer hasn't been compensated or was never signed over as an asset for use. The entire situation was outlined by a compilation of documents collected and published by a third party, which also painted Eon Must Die publisher Focus Entertainment as complicit in the poor working conditions. The company said it wouldn't be undergoing the investigation regarding the matter, then went silent for a year until of that they would do an investigation. But then they went silent for a year until Eon Must Die resurfaced through a trailer on the company's YouTube page. Um, and so the reason why I posted this one, and then that's why I asked the question, have you ever seen this game, Jacob?
No, I have not. And welcome back, Corey. Maybe Corey has, but no, I have not ever seen this. I have no idea what this is. Aeon
Sorry,
Must Die.
Yeah.
A double child crisis.
Oh man.
Oh no.
They both woke up at the same time.
Oh,
wow.
no.
Good times. What game are we talking about now?
Aeon Must Die or Eon Must Die?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Me either.
Okay.
What is it?
It's a 2D beat 'em up game.
That's why.
That had a big controversy after they showed it last year for PlayStation State of Play.
Why?
There was some alleged stuff going on with the company and some of the ex-employers, like extra crunch time, harassment, abuse, corruption, manipulation. Some of the assets and art assets.
Video game developer.
Yeah. Some of the assets and the art assets people weren't compensated for. And the thing about it is that the game just released last Tuesday. So it was kind of like, last Thursday. I'm sorry, because I didn't know that it was coming to Nintendo Switch. I thought it was literally a PlayStation exclusive. And when this controversy happened, people read it, talked about it, and then it just went silent and dead. And next thing you know, the game is on the system. So I was asking if you guys saw the trailer, like, did it grab your interest? And but since you guys didn't see it, I kind of want to ask you guys, what happens when news about a game could hurt the sales of it? So if it's like negative news about a game that's about to come out, how much you think it will hurt the sales of it?
I mean, I feel like it would hurt it pretty fairly, but it depends on what you consider negative news, right? Because like Pokemon, for instance, had the whole "Where's the national dex? Bring back the national dex," blah blah blah, whatever, for Pokemon Sword and Shield, which then went on to be, I think, the best-selling Pokemon game or the second best-selling Pokemon game of all time. And it's like, that's people would look at you that are on the bring back the national dex side and be like, no, this game's terrible, this is terrible news. But that's not terrible news. But when you have stuff like what came out a while back with Blizzard come out, and people are demanding refunds for their games, people are demanding, there's just a mass exodus of Blizzard stuff. It absolutely affects it. I think it just depends on what the quote-unquote bad news is and where it falls in your wheelhouse of being bad news, because it's not a big deal. If it's not a big deal, I don't think it'll really affect it at all. It might sway some people from buying it, but overall, the vast majority is not going to look into it. But if it's big enough, people outside of the gaming sphere will start hearing about it, and that's when it starts to affect sales.
Yeah. What about you, Corey?
I mean, I think, certain games, negative publicity can, hurt the game, but a smaller game like this that, like, nobody's really kind of heard of, right? I mean, like, 2/3 of us never heard of it, right? And, like, this negative publicity brought it to the forefront, and I feel like the old saying, all publicity is good publicity, is like kind of a fitting saying for here, because like it brought it to the forefront and brought it to our attention, and now, even though we probably won't buy the game, right, 2 more people know about it, and now the people that listen to the show will know about it, and maybe they'll check out a trailer, maybe 1 or 2 people that listen to the show will buy it, and we've brought an attention to a game that has had bad publicity, and that's, I don't know. It's not like, well, maybe this isn't a good example because of all the stuff that Blizzard and Activision are going through right now. But then, like, Diablo 2 is like the best-selling Diablo game ever, after that. So maybe, I don't know. After everybody we know, we're like, boycott Blizzard. And then 2 weeks later, oh, Diablo 2 is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, 5 people who said they were never buying another Blizzard game, and 2 weeks later they bought Diablo 2. Right?
Stick
like,
to your guns,
yeah.
people. That's interesting that you mentioned that, because like that immediately unlocked my brain to think about how, like, I think GTA when it first came out got like better sales because of the negative publicity, and same thing with like Mortal Kombat did better because of the negative publicity. So I mean, I guess it's actually just kind of something that's completely up in the air on whether or not it's going to affect a game.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of definitely that when you mention GTA, because the hot coffee on San Andreas, when that came out, and they were trying to sue Rockstar and stuff, people were going to the stores to buy the game for it, to see if they could access it, because the only way that you could do it was on PC. That people unlocked, they didn't have it on console. And so that created like that big controversy. And even just the way that we look, even though this is a Nintendo podcast, The Last of Us Part 2, how that was a big controversy for weeks with Naughty Dog. And then look how the game sold, and it became like a game of the year and won all of these awards. So I think it's kind of like, when you think that bad news is going to hurt a game before it release, sometimes people are getting surprised that it actually does nothing for it and it still sells well. Or people don't people look into see it for themselves, so they'll go and buy the game to see if that bad news is upsetting, or if it's minor or don't make no sense. So, and I can't say with Eon Must Die, and the reason I brought it, because Nintendo Life has a review for it. That's the only review I've seen for it, and it got 3 out of 10. So it looks like, even after everything that happened, it looks like, yeah, it's beautiful on the outside, but everything else is not up to good quality. There's other beat 'em up games that people could go out and play and everything. So I just found it interesting that it came to Switch, because like I said, I thought it was a PlayStation exclusive. So
yeah, but I mean, most games that look like this usually make their way to Switch, right? I mean, like, this is where they're probably going to hit most of their sales, right? Because like,
is on Switch.
yeah.
So, well, we're going to move on, because Switch OLED and Metroid Dread are dancing to a positive beat with exquisite sales. The Switch OLED sold 138,000 alone in Japan, with Metroid selling 87,000 copies also in Japan at this time. Although we don't have worldwide numbers, both products seem to start the fall and holiday off right. What do you think of these numbers, and how does the OLED future look like for Nintendo? So, what do you think of these numbers for the Switch OLED and for Metroid Dread? Corey, I'm gonna start with you.
The OLED in Japan is not surprising, right? Like, I mean, they're mobile gamers, they're portable gamers. Like, I mean, the Vita and PSP are still popular over there. 3DS is still popular. Like, the Switch is obviously popular, and if you're giving them a better portable system, they're gonna buy it, right? I mean, I think it just makes sense. Metroid is a little bit more, I don't want to say surprising, but like, it's a little, that number's a little bit larger than I thought, just because Metroid is not big over there at all. It's more something that we all look forward to and love, right? And that's always been the hit against Metroid, is that, like, it just doesn't sell well, especially in Japan. So that's nice to see. That's nice to see that it's resonating over there, and maybe that's with their increased, I don't know, taking to our culture, a little bit in terms of, the way that we kind of look at Japan and be like, oh, it's this mystical land where video games come from. Like, they're starting to take that to us too, right? With like movies and certain cultural things too. So, I mean, it's nice to see. I'm glad that these two things are doing well. And, I'm really interested to see how well Metroid sold total, when NPD comes out.
Yeah,
especially because if I want to see how well it does, just because it doesn't take digital copies into effect either, NPD for Nintendo. So if physical sales are huge, then you might think that possibly double, because I mean, Jacob, you and I both bought it digitally, so
I will have bought it 4 times by the time, not for me, but by the time it's all said and done, I will have bought 4 copies of Metroid Dread. So
yeah. And there are people who are still buying the game. They're posting their pictures saying like, "Hey, I finally just got Metroid Dread and I'm starting it." So that's kind of amazing that like 87,000 in Japan. And we talked earlier on some past episodes that Fusion and Zero Mission sold abundantly well on the Wii U. Like after and people went back and started playing these games. Definitely, if we look at,
I mean, what was it last? Was it last week's Power Block, or was it maybe it was Boss Rush where we were talking about Metroid Dread and like the sales of it's fun, like the sales of all of the Metroid games shot to the top of each of their respective consoles.
Yeah.
Sales, right? Like Metroid, like all the Wii U eShop versions shot to the top. Metroid Samus Returns shot to number 2 on the 3DS eShop. It's crazy how well and how people are finally seeing what Metroid is, right? Like, I'm not the biggest Metroid fan, but I always love to see when this game sells well. And I mean, I'm enjoying Dread to the point where like I will probably go back to these games. I bought them, and I want to play them. So.
Hey. Side note, everybody, me and Corey has to play through a Super Metroid. You should watch it. But what about you, Jacob? What do you think of these numbers?
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are fairly self-explanatory for the OLED. It as Corey said, it's expected in Japan. You can't find it anywhere in America, and I assume that with that number, like for this first month at least, that's not going to be because of like. That's just because they sold out, and then as the months go on, we'll find out if they like prepared for that or not, with stock availability, or if it'll be like the Xbox Series X and the PS5, and you just can't get it because of chip shortages and stuff like that. But I don't think so because it uses older stuff. Metroid Dread is definitely exciting to see. It was expected, given how often it was showing up as like the top game on Amazon charts for pre-orders, and how everyone was so excited about it. And it's been really cool to see. Like, I thought that it was going to come out, and then a week later, it was just no one was going to be talking about it. Not because it wasn't good, but because like the hype just died. But like you still see to this day, people talking about how great it is and how it's like made them a Metroid fan and all these other things. And I'm hopeful that Nintendo sees that and reacts accordingly, and that they don't just think that that's a Metroid thing, but that they also think that they realize that that's the power that they have with the Switch, and they start bringing back and taking chances on some other IPs as well. I will say, so Nintendo Economics on Twitter, or Nintendo Economics, I'm not quite sure if I got their tag right, but they talk about economic stuff related to Nintendo, and they put it at a very I feel a very accurate, I think it was like 3 million by the end of the fiscal year. And I think that that's totally doable for Metroid. I don't think we'll be seeing Metroid shoot into the high top 10s of like Nintendo's best-selling games on the Switch. I think that we'll be lucky if it gets into like spot 10 to 8. But it definitely is going to be the best-selling Metroid game.
I wouldn't be shocked if it already was.
The best-selling one, yeah, most likely it probably is. But Yeah, no, it's super exciting, and I just hope that Nintendo realizes that that isn't exclusive to Metroid, that they can continue taking chances on Metroid and giving us more Metroid games, but that they'll also start taking chances on other systems as well. I talked about it a little bit in the pre-show, but something that kind of is breaking news for us today is that the Switch's 33-month long reign was broken in September. And I think the interesting part of that is that it was probably broken because anybody who would have bought a Switch in September waited until the OLED came out to try and snag one on store shelves. And what I'm interested to see is if the Switch will be back on the best-selling console for October and November and December and move back on. And September will just be kind of like almost like a self-proclaimed, like, yeah, we know it wasn't going to sell as well this month because it's coming up at the beginning of next month, the new console.
Plus, you look at Switch having 3 options on store shelves now, and PlayStation is, like, we talked a little bit in the pre-show about this as well, but PlayStation is doing a raffle to sell it, to let you have a chance to get into the store to purchase these things, right? Like, I mean, they can't get these things manufactured, and Xbox is doing a decent job of getting their boxes out there, right? Like, I think they probably started manufacturing these well before PlayStation at this point, just the sheer amount I see available. But it's going to be tough to outsell the Switch this holiday, right? Especially with Metroid seemingly selling so well, a new Mario Party, 2 new Pokemon games on the way. It's the Switch is dominant. It's going to be dominant for years to come. I still feel strongly that, the Switch is going to be around longer than any other Nintendo console has, and by the time the Switch is all said and done, I have to think that whatever's next for Nintendo after the Switch is going to basically just be like a Switch 2. It's going to be backwards compatible with all the Switch games. It's going to be, like, this is Nintendo's, I don't know what you call it, like their reset where, like, everything from here on out you can play in perpetuity on consoles to come, right? Like, I mean, I have to believe that, the way that, Series X works with Xbox One in previous generations as well, right? I mean, Nintendo's not going to do the work that Xbox has done to get, original Xbox games working on the Series X in disc or digital form, mostly because obviously the Switch doesn't have a disc drive. But I think this is their starting point of saying, hey, your Nintendo Switch ID is here. This is your ID for life, similar to your Xbox gamer tag, your Steam ID, your PlayStation Network ID. Like, I don't know. I just think the Switch is going to stick around for a while, and I feel like it's going to be an iterative console because I mean, you guys can't see Switch going back to a console and a handheld, right? Like, I don't see them splitting the player base again.
And the annoying thing about that is because it's Nintendo, that's actually very much a possibility, annoyingly.
Yeah.
But you would hope that whoever's driving the bus on this now, what's his name? What's the new president's name?
Furukawa.
You would hope that he sees that it needs to stay this way and that they need to go the route of, like, the NES to the Super NES and just make a super, we all joke about it with the Switch Pro being the Super Switch. That's what they need to do. They need to make a Switch that's just more powerful, backwards compatible, at this point, they're at the point where if they do that, they can say, hey, this is our next system. All of your old games will work on this, but we're only going to be making games for this now. All games going forward are only on this.
It's going to be a 3DS to DS situation, right? Like, okay, this is, all your DS games will work on the 3DS, but this is the cutoff point.
Yeah,
so,
I really think it has to be, because then
I mean,
people have the option to still buy a regular Switch if they want to play that huge library of fantastic games, or they can buy the Switch Pro and kind of future-proof themselves and still have the great library. of
Right.
games.
I mean, I think this new generation of Nintendo executives like Furukawa and Koizumi, I think that they are making the right decisions and the right steps to, you're always gonna have the legendary developers like Miyamoto and Onuma, and obviously rest in peace Satoru Iwata. You're always gonna have those names associated with Nintendo, but I think this new generation of executives knows like Nintendo needs to evolve with the times. They want to keep Nintendo distinct while being competitive, and the Switch is that. It's 100% that.
And go ahead, Ed.
Oh, their business direction has worked for them. As much as people say, well, Nintendo has this kind of way of thinking and has been kind of, a little bit stingy, keeping it to themselves. I'm like, no, we look at cross saves, we look at them working with Microsoft, we look how they do censorship, we look at a lot of stuff that they are moving with the modern times. They are trying to catch up and everything, but they are trying to make it more accessible, because in this world, accessibility is going to get you far. It's going to affect your business and everything. And I think Nintendo, in a sense, have done a good job. Even when people who were just like, they should have did the Bluetooth at the beginning. You see that even with that upset, people are now using the Bluetooth system. I've never heard anyone talk about Bluetooth on PlayStation and Microsoft at all. And I'm not trying to knock those anything.
To be fair, they've had it for like 15 years.
So
well, yeah. But I think a lot of people haven't been like, I played this game or the Bluetooth here in the soundbar. A lot of people have.
It's just because it's available. Like it's just a feature that they've had, and it doesn't need to be talked about because it should just be there.
It should be there.
I will say, in defense of the Bluetooth, the reason that's so upsetting is because it's not a new dock. It's not a new system. Any system, even a day one Switch system, got this update. So it's literally, it was a firmware program thing that they couldn't figure out at first, or didn't want to figure out at first.
Their controllers are Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And I think they just couldn't get it to work with 4 controllers, right? Like, because like the whole thing with the Bluetooth thing is right now, right, is it's limited to 2 controllers. Yeah. Which, whatever. I mean, if you're playing with headphones with someone, you're obviously just like, you suck. Don't play with games with me. But I don't know. There's always a caveat with some of this stuff.
Oh, for sure. What I will say though is I'm fully on board the camp of a Switch Pro is coming. And I think the only reason that we saw the Switch OLED being the same system with just like slightly better specs, a better screen, is because that OLED screen is going to be a big part of the Switch Pro. But they saw into the future and saw like, hey, this chip shortage isn't going away anytime soon. We can't launch a new model, a powerful new model, and reliably keep it in stores. And people are like, we've seen what that happens like PR facing wise with Microsoft and Sony doing that. But we need something to compete, right? We need something to go into the holidays to say, well, it's not as good, but it's better than the one that was previous. And
you're 100% right.
Yeah. And go ahead, Ed.
Oh no! Speaking of the OLED, it's just like people who are now picking it up are going back seeing all those old games coming in, and now just thinking of the future, having that same OLED screen, or even a brand new one when Switch 2 come out, or Switch Pro, let's just call it Switch Pro come out, it's going to look even greater. I'm like, you already know that Nintendo games look good because of their art style and how they use it. So seeing on that screen, like, once they get a new micro processing chip and everything stuff, it's going to be amazing to see what that next Switch Pro is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that developers have 4K Switch dev kits, right? Like, we know that, and they were prepping for this model that obviously didn't happen because of all the chip shortages. And I think this was a smart move by Nintendo. Honestly, I know a lot of people are, oh, Nintendo needs 4K, whatever. But like, Nintendo, since the GameCube, they've been like this. They've never been as powerful. The resolution has never been as big. Like the GameCube never even had widescreen support the way that PlayStation and Xbox did, right? Like they never had that. The Wii wasn't an HD console, right? Like the Wii U was basically a little bit more beefier Xbox 360. Like they've never been on the cutting edge of technology. And yeah, as much as I want Breath of the Wild to run at 4K, 60 frames a second would look amazing, maybe a ray tracing, whatever, but like it's not Nintendo. And I think people need to stop expecting that from Nintendo because that's not what we're getting. If we get a 4K console in 2 years,
it'll be
like
because
I will gladly
go ahead.
I would say I'll gladly purchase one. Right?
Yeah.
Like
I
will gladly purchase one.
If we get a 4K console, it'll be because the other two competitors in the scene are on 8K. It'll be because there's something way better, but now for Nintendo Nintendo devout fans and people that just want to play those fun Nintendo games, they can now play it in the more powerful thing. Like it's a slower setup, but the setup comes eventually.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not always about graphics and everything because look, Link Between Worlds took Game of the Year, and that was on 3DS when all these other powerful systems was out. So sometimes it's not always about graphics. Yes, we would love seeing Pikmin in 4K, the water on the fruit, and just to think
at this point, I'm not even concerned about 4K stuff. Like I play my Xbox Series X at 1440p because I like the 120 frames a second, which makes it run buttery smooth. It's almost about, graphical density at this point. Like I would rather play a game at 1080p that has amazing texture work or amazing, depth to it. And instead of because you can make a game at 4K, but if it's something like super hot or whatever, that game's going to look amazing in 4K, but it's not graphically intensive by any stretch.
Art style goes a long way in games.
Yeah. Well, right, we're going to get into our last story. There was an Animal Crossing Direct. There's so much content is coming to the game on November 5th. We have an article from Patrick Nisley about it on BossRush.net. We also have new information about the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. We also have an article for Shane Kelly talking about it. So let's shake a tree and let a discussion fall out about the reveals. And just one more thing, everybody. Jack, Geek Bro, and I also have an awesome banter piece about the expansion pack that you'll thoroughly enjoy on BossRush.net. So, did you guys watch the Animal Crossing Direct?
Oh my God, absolutely.
Okay, Jacob, I'm gonna place this part in your hand. Talk about it. What did you think?
Okay. So they didn't give everything that everyone has ever been crawling for or crying for, but it was so good. I'm so excited. Listen, this is going to make no sense if you don't play Animal Crossing, but the most exciting thing from the Direct to me was the ability to take a room and put walls in it and countertops in it. You can divide rooms now with walls. They added Brewster. They added a very big thing that a lot of people were clamoring for, especially right when it first came out, was the ability to craft stuff without having to go all the way back to your house and grabbing items out of storage and then going to your little crafting table. They kind of got around that with an outside storage locker that you can place, but it doesn't really solve the problem, but it's fine. They brought back the Froggy chair, which is listen, there are memes aplenty about this Froggy chair not being in Animal Crossing. So that's crazy. Amazing. And then oh my God, everything with this Happy Home Paradise thing going on, that's something that I'm incredibly excited about. And that gives me a goal. If I'm able to get every single Animal Crossing villager and give them a little happy home, that breathes so much life back into the game. Plus doing that brings back features of that to your regular game, like I said, with the walls and the countertops and being able to design your villagers' homes. Basically they said, here's all the stuff you wanted and here's more of it than you actually needed. but we're giving it to you anyways. So like,
Yeah.
they upgraded storage in your storage space from like 2,500 to I think 5,000 or 6,000 now.
Dude,
Incredible.
People have started their whole worlds over, their whole islands over
Which
for this update.
I don't agree with that. I'm in a pact. I'm in a pact with my girlfriend and one of my best friends, Coconut. That's his gamer tag name. To not just delete our islands, but even if I wasn't, seeing this direct is not why I would delete my island. Like, it's not like they said, "Oh, by the way, like you'll have to start over." Like, no, you're actually putting yourself at a disadvantage deleting your island and starting over, because now you have to get it back up to the point where you can do stuff for free, and you have to like go through all these other hoops and stuff to be able to like unlock this stuff. It makes no sense to me.
And the price for it is $24.99 for this expansion, releasing on November 5th, which I think is a great price. Everybody was just like, "Oh, this is like another game." I don't know. I'm like, there's so many games that do this. So
can I just complain about everybody complaining about the price of stuff? Shut up.
Yes.
If you think it's too much money, don't buy it. So somebody's like, "Oh, Nintendo 64 games cost $50. I'm like, no. The Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack, which includes the Animal Crossing thing, and Nintendo 64, and Genesis, and everything you previously got, is $50.
So I want to add on to that, Corey, because this has really been bothering me, and I've been talking about it with a lot of people. Let me run some math by y'all real quick, okay? The current base expansion, or base Nintendo Switch Online for one person is $20 a year. $20. All right. If you were to get it upgraded to the Nintendo Switch Online Plus for one person, it's $50. The family plan upgraded is $80 a year. If you find two people, yourself and one other person to split that with, it doesn't matter. It's actually cheaper. It's $40. It's $10 cheaper than the Nintendo Switch Plus expansion plan a year if y'all split that. If you get three people, it's $26 and some change a year, making it cheaper than a single person's Nintendo Switch Online Plus, and just $6 more than the current cheapest expansion or online service that you can pay for from Nintendo. If you get just as low as 4 people, you and 3 friends or 3 random strangers on the internet, it's the same price to split it a year than as the current Switch Online, just NES and SNES, no DLC, no N64, no Sega Genesis. It's the same price.
And the thing about it is that right now, if you already are a member of Nintendo Switch Online, you get a discount to subscribe for this upgrade.
For the first year.
Yeah. So when it starts on, then you have to pay $50.
But listen, if you don't have friends, why are you paying for an online service anyways? Who are you playing with? If you have friends, get the family plan. I've never not paid for the family plan, and there's been no benefit, no downside to it at all. Everyone on my family plan has been able to buy themselves the controllers. Everyone has the DLC. No, that's not true. There was one downside. Do you all remember when they first introduced the online thing and they released like a DLC code for Splatoon?
Yeah.
That was the one thing that's ever come out that only I, as the owner of the family plan, got. They didn't get it. That's it. That's the only thing. I've confirmed everyone on the family plan gets the DLC for Animal Crossing. Everyone on the family plan gets N64 and Sega Genesis. There's no downside.
Here's the thing. Even if you're going to buy this by yourself for $50, if you can't afford $4.17 a month,
what are you doing?
You need a new hobby. You need a new hobby. If that's too expensive for you, you need a new hobby. You shouldn't be buying video games. You should be out finding a job, saving some money, maybe making better life choices. If you cannot afford $4.17 to, play these classic games and, play the occasional game online, which, don't get me wrong, I don't really play Switch Online, but I do play the classic games. Like, just stop. I'm so tired of hearing about how much everything costs. Not everything is for you. You don't need to purchase everything that comes out. Metroid is perfectly fine at $60 for a 12-hour experience. Shut up.
Yep. I went over this. I went over this rant when the Mario Party All-Star, or not Mario Party, Mario 3D All-Stars was announced, because they were like, "Oh, it's a limited time. Oh, I'm not going to be able to afford it." I did the math. It was less than a quarter a day. You waste money on food that you crap out at the end of the day than that. Like, if you can't afford it, gaming is not the hobby for you. Yeah. Or, well, I don't know. It's so annoying.
It's very weird, because I think some people pay that much for expansions and season passes for a game that is only going to be there maybe for a couple of months.
For all the people our age complaining about how much this costs, how much did your kid spend on Fortnite this month?
Oh man, we have we have a Boss Rush friend, a Boss Rush network member who knows all about that and can tell you up front how that is a problem. So like,
I get it. Like, there's games that I want that I won't buy because, I have to pick and choose which games I buy and which games I choose to have time for. I get it, but also, like, it's $4.17, dude. I can find that in my couch cushions.
And I feel like there are going to be more stuff added on throughout the year.
Yeah, it's not like this is the end. You're going to get like whatever the equivalent of Tetris 99 is to something else, or an expansion, or probably Splatoon 3 stuff, or new spirits for Smash, or there's going to be things for you with this service. Plus whenever the Game Boy games come, or if they decide to add GameCube later, like, this is all funding that. I just don't get it. I get that, like, Nintendo 64 didn't age well. I get that, Sega Genesis isn't like the greatest console of all time, right? But like, you don't have to buy it.
Yes, and at the
you can buy the $20 version and still play your games online, and still play Tetris 99 and Pac-Man 99 and your 1,000th playthrough of Super Metroid. Like,
and the thing about it is that it's going to be there until they tear the until the internet goes out, or Nintendo removes it all. There's going to be games there, and they're going to add on. There's a lot of possibilities of games that we have never played here in America that might appear on the system. I was the disk drive that came only in Japan. They actually have games for that, so there is a chance of that coming on. There's so many experiences that you could get on here. You just got to be patient.
I think this is just like a result of free-to-play games and mobile games being free, and like, you pay for what you want within these games. Like, I really think that this is just like people's expectations of games have changed, and the way that we grew up buying games, playing games, whatever, is not the norm anymore. Like with Fortnite and Apex Legends and Minecraft, and these games that maybe aren't full price or free, and you go in and you buy what you want, what you need, battle passes, season passes. Ed, you mentioned people pay a lot of money for season passes and stuff. Like, I get it, but like, I'm just, this is incredibly infuriating to me that people are mad about an optional add-on service that I am all in on. Like, I get it, but like, I don't get it. Like,
and listen, we're not
thank you.
We're not saying that Nintendo's online service of playing games is worth this price, because it's not. But that's not all you're paying for. Yes, other consoles have better online services. Great. Go play games there. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. Just have a good time. And
Like-
if you don't care about N64 games, if you don't care about Sega games, if you don't care about Animal Crossing, you don't have to upgrade. They're not forcing it on you. They're not saying, hey, by the way, if you don't play this new price, you don't get online anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
And again,
Yeah.
it's cheaper. It's so cheap still if you buy it with a family plan. And split it. My only fear with this is that Nintendo is going to start doing all of their expansion packs this way, and that I understand if let me run a what's the word when it's like a made up thing.
Like a scenario.
Yeah, let me run a made up scenario by you, okay? They release this. Middle of next year, they release a Pokemon Arceus expansion pass. They add it to this. The price stays the same. End of next year, they release a Mario Kart expansion pass. They add it to this. Price stays the same. 2023, they release Breath of the Wild 2 DLC. Add it to this. Price goes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yay or nay? Like, would you consider adding it's
weird because like for expansion packs for games, I would rather just purchase those. Like, I think it's a nice feature for, people that play Animal Crossing, and like Animal Crossing is an online game for for friends and stuff to hang out and whatever. Like that makes sense. I think they're gonna do like a game by game basis. Like Splatoon 3, I think would be a smart one to add to this because it's primarily an online game. But something like Zelda or whatever the next Mario game is, or I don't think that would be a good move to add it to this because Zelda's not primarily a single player game. There's no online component really at all. So I think Nintendo has to be smart how they tackle these things. Like if I was in Animal Crossing, like even though it's part of this service, I would rather just purchase the DLC just to know that like I'll have it in case I have to lapse a month or two.
And I think that's good that at least Nintendo is still going to present that offer. If you don't want the service but you want the DLC, just buy the DLC at this price.
Yeah.
And I think people will be like, okay, I'm going to get the price. Nintendo's still going to make that money. They're still going to get that coins. And I think even with people being upset over some time, it's going to be people are going to upgrade to it. There's going to be a game, or there's going to be some kind of feature to be like, oh, my friends are playing, Paper Mario together or doing Star Fox together, and I don't have it, so I gotta upgrade it because I want to do Star Fox and stuff,
Yeah.
And like with the 60 hertz and all of that stuff, I'm like, there's a lot that's going to be there. But
yeah.
Last word, Jacob. Last word, Corey, and then we'll get on to our doc vote. Jacob, last word.
I was just gonna say, and yes, would it be nicer if they just kept it the same price and released all of these games as individual buys so you can pick and choose? Sure, of course it would. That'd be great, but they're a business, and they're gonna continue to act like a business, and they're gonna do things that make them money as a business. And if they can bundle stuff together and get you in on that higher price, and you get stuff that you don't really want, but you want the other stuff, that's how they make money. But I promise you, just look into it. There are cheaper ways to do it, and just enjoy what you're still currently getting.
And also, like, anybody who pays full price for one of these gaming subscription services is not looking hard enough, because I don't think I've ever paid full price for Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Live Gold, PlayStation Plus. Like, I did last time I purchased Nintendo Switch Online, I found it for $17 instead of $20. Like, I've never I've never paid full price for a service, and it's like I don't know. It just people expect too many things for free and don't want to pay for it. Well, guess what? If you don't pay for it, you're not getting any more of it. So like, you're not going to get what you want if you don't pay for the things that, like, I didn't really want to pay for Nintendo Online either, because their online stuff has always sucked. But like the additional services that they offer you, the free games, like Tetris 99 was an awesome free game that you got with the service, right? Like the NES and Super Nintendo games have been a great add. Like, it's almost like it's almost their Game Pass at this point now.
Yeah.
Where you're paying $180 a year for Xbox Game Pass. right? They sell it to you as $15 a month, right? And granted, you get the cloud service stuff, you get the PC version of it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of great features to Game Pass for $15 a month. But like, if they try to sell it to you as $180 a year, how many people would be rolling their eyes and screaming at the top of their lungs, right? Like,
look what happened. Look what happened when Microsoft tried to change it.
They tried to change gold from $60 to $120 a year, and people freaked out.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say that's productive. This angers me greatly.
Well,
I'm angry that other people are angry.
And I know that the NSO stuff wasn't even the original topic. It was just like I had to get it out because I saw even people that we know. I've seen tweets, enraging tweets, and I called people out on it. Like, you know, somebody tweeted out like $50 for what was it? You know, the Animal Crossing DLC is a lot. I'm like, you forgot to mention all of the classic games you get and the free games that you get. And then they replied back, well, I'm not interested in those. Well, that doesn't mean they're not there. You know, like you're still paying for that. I don't care if you're not interested in it. It's still there. You know?
And my thing is that do go read me not me, Jack and I's masterpiece. We both presented some good arguments, some good discussion for the pros and cons for it. And regardless of if you want it, pay for it. If you don't want it, don't pay for it. You can always wait or just never get it. Stick to what you feel like. Hey, it's your money. You make the business decision. But just like OLED, just like Skyward Sword, people are going to complain, and yet they still purchase it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I can say about that. So we're going to get into our doc mode.
I'm sorry for ranting on that.
No, if you didn't jump on it, I was going to, because I've literally every single stream that I've done this week or since that announcement, I've like spent an hour-long discussion with chat about like how is this such a big deal? Like, is this like I was trying to find something I was missing? Like, is it illegal? Is it illegal to go buy the family plan and not share it with your family? Are they not giving? Do you not get the Animal Crossing DLC? Well, like what? And there's nothing. There's nothing. Mm-hmm. People are just being mad to be mad.
Mm-hmm. It's the state of the internet.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Time for Doc Mode. Fathers Among Us and we elite Black agents are preparing for the holiday season for 2021. I want to ask you all, as kids or just as gamers, what does holiday gaming mean to you? Are there gaming traditions, introductions to new titles or systems, food connections? So we're going to discuss what do holiday gaming means to us. Corey, what does holiday gaming mean to you?
I mean, usually I just am playing whatever. I mean, it's more of like everybody's kind of slowing down for the end of the year. Everybody's kind of catching up on either games for Game of the Year stuff or just playing whatever they want with friends, or you know, it's more of just like a relaxing part of the year for games. You know, I mean, we've been podcasting for so long that like holiday gaming is more like let's play catch up so we can talk about it on Game of the Year episodes.
Exactly.
You know, but it used to mean like, oh man, there's new games coming out. I want them for Christmas. You know, my mom or dad or my grandma would get them for me or something, and being excited to open them and play them when everybody left for the day. You know, that's kind of what holiday gaming was for me back in the day. But you know, now it's like we're trying to play catch up and talk about Game of the Year and get ready for new content for the beginning of the year and everything. It feels like catch up and let's get ready for the start of the season and for the you know, January at that point.
Yes. What about you, Jacob?
Holiday gaming for me is RPGs, because like every year and in almost every job that I've had, I have like an extended time off around Christmas and New Year's.
Hmm.
And so like that's the time where I'm like, all right, let's sit down, let's play this 80-hour, 100-hour RPG and like really dive deep into it, wake up, spend 8 hours playing it, go to bed, right? Like it's my job to play them. It used to mean at Christmas time of like playing multiplayer games with my family, my cousins, my brother and sister. But like as we've gotten older, they've all kind of become curmudgeons and gaming's not for them, and I'm the only one that stayed that way. But now my nephews, so like for the longest time, my nephews were like, "Oh, we like sports and outdoorsy stuff, and we're young and cool, and you know, like to kick the ball around." And I'm like, great, have fun with that. I'm not that type of guy. But now I'm like the coolest uncle ever, because like I know who Mario is, and I have games and all this other stuff, and like so now I'm gonna be that adult that's sitting in the kids' room playing games with them while all the adults are outside talking about adult stuff. So that'll be fun, introducing new stuff to them.
Yeah,
Man,
well,
adult stuff is.
No, I skip it as much as I can, man.
I'm about to start a job that's full of adult people, and I'm like, oh no, what am I going to talk about? I'm not gonna, you know, I mean, they're one of the people that interviewed me plays games, and he has 3 kids, and they play Switch a lot, which is nice. But it's like, better make friends with that guy because everybody else seems like.
When I go to,
I don't know what to say.
My office mate at work, I share an office with another guy, and I'll come in on Monday, and he'll come in, and we'll sit down at our desks, and he'll be like, how was the video game? And I'm like, oh, it was great. How was the sports ball? And he was like, it was great. And then like that's the end of our conversation, because it's like I don't know anything about sports. I don't know a thing about the sports ball.
I know for me, it's always Nintendo related for holiday gaming. Like when it comes to Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I expect something Nintendo related to be in my presence. Whether it's a hat. Last year, I posted pictures that I got all this Legend of Zelda stuff, and I literally almost fell into tears because everybody who know me. If you buy me anything Nintendo related, I'm gonna love you for life.
I wish I was in your position.
I'm so easy because as a kid, the holiday tradition was that my Christmas Eve present was a EGM or GamePro. Was always a video game magazine. And then Christmas Day, it was always a Nintendo system, besides the TurboGrafx that I asked for. That was the only one that was outside Nintendo. Everything else has always been Nintendo related. And now, as an adult, when it comes to holiday gaming, I look forward to Black Friday because I get to go back and buy those games that I missed throughout that year or previous years for a good deal. And I'm hitting Target, I'm hitting Best Buy, I'm hitting Walmart or whatever, GameStop. Like I'm hitting all of these different stores to get these games that I missed to have in my collection for the sale. And just like we talked earlier about buying subscriptions for these consoles, I started with PlayStation 3. I was buying PS Plus for $40 or something every November. And it was a 1-year renewal and stuff. So I would put that card in and bam, that's how it goes. And so I try to look out for those deals when I can so that when it is time for me to renew, it's already there. And I got it at a good discount and everything. Of course, clothes and food and stuff. Like definitely when I get a new game on Christmas Day or anything, or like someone buy me a game on Christmas Day, I am in my room with cookies and some milk, and or eggnog, and I'm playing that game. Like until I have to be somewhere. As an adult now, I got to be at work, but when I get a chance to be off or before I go, I am playing that game, and definitely I try to get in touch with everybody, as many people as I can, and wish them, happy Hanukkah or happy holidays, Merry Christmas or whatever. It's always there, but like, yeah, the food connection is, of course, is always going to be there with games and everything. But that's kind of what I think about holiday gaming when it comes to me, is getting that particular Nintendo game Now, if anyone want to give me a PlayStation Xbox game, I don't have no problem with that. But it'd be like, ooh, this is a Nitty game. Let me get this for Ed.
Man,
I'm always. Oh, go ahead.
no. You finish up, Ed.
Oh no, if it's a copy of something, it's always good to have a backup.
Yeah. No, I so wish I was in your position, man. I hate surprises. I hate surprise gifts because I have no idea how to react to them. And 99% of the time, it's not something that I like or want, and so I don't have a good reaction that people are hoping for. Yeah, but see, Ed, you're lucky because you tell people I love get me a Nintendo crayon and I will be excited. I'll be like, where did you find that? How did you find a Nintendo crayon? Like, what? Like, I'll be excited about it. And I've told everyone I know that. I've told my whole family. I've even I've done the whole thing of making lists that include from $3 purchases to $100 purchases for Christmas stuff. But then inevitably my mom comes in and she's like, I found you the perfect gift for Christmas. And I'll be like, oh, was it on my list? And she was like, no, but I'm sure you're going to love it. And I make her cry because I can't react to stuff well.
Sounds like my mom.
Dude, yeah, I hate it so much. And Becca had to learn. She was so good about this at first because she was like, she would only buy me Nintendo stuff. And she made the mistake of buying me. I love Alice in Wonderland. I have the original book, a first edition copy. I love that series, that show so much, the Disney one specifically. She bought me as a surprise thing, a Queen of Hearts pin because I collect pins, and I was like, oh, great. And she got so upset because it's the first time she's ever gotten that actual reaction out of me because everything else has been Nintendo. And I was like, it doesn't I love this. It's cool. I would never buy it for myself, and therefore I'm not gonna care if someone else buys it for me.
So if anyone knows me, Pokemon Snap came out, and everybody was getting it, and Jake was just like, I hope everybody have fun with it and everything. And I just felt like, I didn't know that she didn't like surprises, but I was just like, let me go get him an eShop card because I know he liked the digital version. Let me go get him an eShop card because I want him to play with his community and everything. And I got back and I was just like, hey, check your DM. I sent you something, and didn't expect your reaction.
Because go ahead.
During you playing Phoenix Wright,
I almost broke down crying because because that's something Nintendo related. That's something I want, and the idea that you would just go out and buy it and surprise me with it was great. But I guarantee you, if that had been anything non-Nintendo related, because I'm a very simple person, anything non-Nintendo related, I would have been like, oh, cool, thanks, Ed. I'm sure I'll enjoy that. But
speaking of Ed sending people gifts that, warrant a nice reaction, I couldn't get the Zelda Joy-Cons at one point, and Ed, this guy sends them to me. He just sends them to me
Ed,
for no reason. No reason. Zero reason. It's I know, Ed, I know we rip on you a lot in a loving way, but we do it a lot. But you're too good to everybody here, and it's one of your greatest strengths is just being a positive and driving force. I've told you 1,000 times, your love and passion for all of this has kept me going multiple times, and you're ridiculous. I want to slap you, but I also want to hug you.
That's why I
in that order. In that order.
Kindest soul.
Well, I try.
And the thing is, he never asks for anything in return either, which is
If I can help, I try my best. Thank you. but yeah, I I don't know how to go from here for a holiday game.
Uh,
Here, I got one. I got something for you. The system that always reminds me of Christmas is Nintendo 64. You know, like that was like the one time I got the console for for Christmas one year, and like I've told the story 1,000 times on the show, but it never gets old. And thinking of it, especially like, you know, this week I just, you know, trying to pull my thoughts together on a few things. It's like I got Mario 64 for Christmas one year, and I didn't have a Nintendo 64, and my parents got me Mario 64 for Christmas, and I'm like, cool. What am I gonna play? You know, what am I gonna play this on? And then my grandma, who used to come over every Christmas, and like she would stay. She used to like stay the night with us and like wake up in the morning and help my mom make breakfast and everything for us and whatever. She didn't do it that year, but when she got there, she brought all the gifts in the house, all of her gifts for us, and like they were all pretty small and whatever. I'm like sitting here like, did they get me like the wrong gift? Do they want to get me something that like, you know, like do my parents understand that like games don't all play on the NES or whatever? Like it's you know, and finally my grandma was like, hey, there's one more big bag in the car, can you go get it? And I was just like, yeah, sure. You know, I thought it was like something for food or something.
Mhm.
And I brought it in and she said open it, and it was a Nintendo 64, and it was like that's one of the greatest holiday gifts ever. So
I have a very similar story in that we went to my grandma's for Christmas one year, and I opened up a copy of Pokemon Red, and was so confused because I didn't own a Game Boy. And we continued through our Christmas, and the way this side of my family does it is that like you open one gift and then like we go in turns all the way around through it by age, and then you open your second gift and we all go around by age. So it takes a long time, and we got done, and I still didn't have a Game Boy, because like at first, right, like I was like, oh well, I guess I opened my gift in the wrong order, and we got done, and I still didn't have one, and was like, okay, cool, I guess. And like was real upset about it. And my grandma forgot to wrap it, and it was still sitting in her closet.
Uh-huh.
She got me my parents got me Pokemon Red, and my grandma got me the Game Boy Color.
Oh
And
wow.
and she forgot to wrap it. She forgot to put it under the tree, and like they were like really concerned because they were like, I thought you were supposed to get it, and she just totally forgot about it. And then she found it the next day while she was getting dressed, because she saw it on the floor in her closet. It was like, oh yeah, I did get it for him. That's right. It was not as heartwarming. It was more just funny, but like an instance of opening the game first and then the system later.
Uh, I think for me, uh, it's not so much holiday or anything, but for my birthday, my mom got the Wii U, and I almost cried because I couldn't get one.
Yeah.
There was no way to get a Wii U or anything, and she ended up giving me the black one. And even though that's not holiday, my mom was always good of giving me the games that I wanted. So she knew that, yeah, you can give me a hat and a coat and a pair of underwear, that's fine.
Yeah.
But she got me the games that I want, and when she got me Mega Man 2, I literally, when I talk about I disappeared, my mom didn't see me until she called us for dinner.
Oh
And
wow.
that's like almost like at 6 o'clock, because I was focused on Mega Man 2, learning that game up and down, and get into that dragon, and continue to die. I wrote the codes and everything. Yeah, when my mom got me that Mega Man 2, I disappeared. I was so happy that she got me that. Um,
Nice.
So, but everybody, that's gonna be it for Doc Mo. Just a quick one about holiday gaming. As we get ready to go into November, and then soon December. Hopefully everybody get their game ready for Thanksgiving. If you're not able to go anywhere and stuff, and you gotta be stuck at home, hopefully you have a Thanksgiving game that you're getting going to get down to. But with that, we're gonna be playing with power. Corey, what have you been playing with power?
I will go in place of Corey because Corey stepped away again, Ed. I know you've got the Pow Block episode thing up, so you can't see. But so I have been heavy into Metroid Dread. I beat it the first time during my 24-hour live stream on stream. It took me about 19 hours of actual like time passing, but then the game logged it as like 15 or 16 hours or maybe 14 hours of play time, which I assume is like time that you're actually in control of Samus.
And I just beat it today with 16 hours.
Yeah. No, you're good. That's awesome. Dude, we can't talk about it because we don't want to spoil it, but that final sequence, final fight and the ending sequence, chef's kiss, man. That is beautiful. And like so shocking, all the stuff that gets revealed in that bit. But so I beat it during that 24-hour live stream the day after it came out that Saturday, and I've done nothing but play it since. Basically, I've dabbled with some other games here and there, but like mostly it's been Metroid Dread. I beat it on hard mode in just under 6 hours, I think, and then was like, so by the way, real quick, PSA. If you're looking to unlock all of the stuff that the gallery has to offer for beating the game on a certain difficulty in a certain amount of time, you have to do that all on one file. When you go back in and you click the game after you've beaten it the first time, it'll tell you that you've unlocked hard mode, and it'll give you the option to continue or do new game or gallery. If you want to unlock everything on one file, you have to choose new game. It will erase your current like gameplay progression, but your gallery stays there. Because what I did was I started a second file as hard mode, but it's only unlocked those like that gallery for beating hard mode under that file, and my first original file doesn't have that unlocked. So then I had to go back, which no complaint here, but I had to go back to my first file, beat it on hard mode again, and then the last time I beat it in like 3 hours and 7 minutes on normal mode. Just gunning through it, man. And I've played it so much that I like really have it down. But I feel like, so that's without sequence breaks, and I feel like I can beat it in under 2 hours and 30 minutes without sequence breaks, because I got to the 2 hour and 21 minute mark and I got the gravity suit, which is about like, in my opinion, that's like just over halfway done. But I died several times to just dumb mistakes. And then, so like 2 hours and 21 minutes. And then I did all of the second half, or like just over second half of the game flawlessly. And I beat it in 3 hours and 7 minutes total. So like, I feel like if I could clean up my first half, I could beat it without sequence breaks in under about 2 hours and 30 minutes. Maybe even better than that.
Well, I beat it with 100% completion. Anything else, Jacob, or was that?
No, I've been wanting to get back into a Kingdom Hearts kick because I love Kingdom Hearts, and I've been watching people play it online, and now I think I'm gonna have to give in and buy, because I refuse to buy it on cloud version on the Switch. I'm gonna buy the PC versions of all of the collection so that I can have them and like have a little bit of a Laron moment and like totally unlock them and just make them super graphically wonderful and play them all on my beefed up PC that I don't play games on that I should play games on, but I don't because I love Nintendo.
So so for me, I did like I said, 100%, 16 hours Metroid Dread. I'm fine. I can put it away and call it a day because I need to get back into Phoenix Wright. Been playing a lot of Streets of Rage 4 survival mode. Going back to the main campaign, playing it on easy, mania, just like playing around with that. It's just like literally having fun with that game. I see that Garden Story got a new update, so I'm going to be starting that, like trying to finish that up and everything. And then just wait for the new games that's supposed to be dropping next week. With like Mario Party and Voice of Cards, getting ready for that. I'm trying to get through a lot of the 2021 games that I got. So like finishing up Monster Hunter Rise, finishing up Monster Hunter Stories 2, Ease 9, like a lot of stuff that I bought this year for 2021 for Switch. I'm going to be trying to work on, along with some of the PlayStation and Xbox stuff, with it, which I gotta actually find out what am I missing, for Xbox, for this year. I think I got almost everything, but I think I'm missing a game or two. For me, the medium is what I'm missing. I'm definitely missing that. Yeah, but for Switch, that's pretty much all. And then I'm going to hopefully get to thank you. Where the that role playing game? There's some certain role playing games that I have on Switch that I need to get through and everything. But Corey, what have you been playing with Power?
I mean, I've been slowly making my way through Metroid Dread. Haven't even come close to finishing it yet, but like still really fun. I love the way it plays and the movement and the atmosphere and the music and everything. It's a wonderful game. I've been playing a lot of Tetris Effect Connected on Switch as well.
How is that?
I pulled the trigger and bought it because like it was either that or Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, but like I want the music, man. And like Puyo Puyo Tetris is like it's a good version of Tetris, right? But like Tetris Effect, man, is you just put headphones on and listen to the music, and it has a music gallery mode to where like you can just listen at all the music that you've unlocked through the journey mode you can listen to, and man, that music just like makes you feel things, man.
I held out for PlayStation and Xbox. Now that I know that it's on Switch, I'm about to dive in. I don't know if they do it physical though.
It runs perfectly fine on Switch. Like there's no frame rate glitches or anything. I mean, it's Tetris. It's kind of hard to mess up, but like the backgrounds and stuff are really smooth and everything. And the cool thing is too about Tetris Effect on Switch is that you can use so obviously you use the D-pad. Well, I've been playing on Switch Lite, so the D-pad to move the blocks around and stuff, which is normal. But the left stick, if you're playing on TV, if you press up, it zooms out, so you get more of the background and everything, and the effects and everything. If you're playing on like a big TV, like I usually do, or if you're playing in handheld mode on a normal Switch, you press down, it zooms in. So like the pieces become bigger because like obviously the whole thing is to see the effects move to the music in the background while you're playing Tetris, and it's really neat and stuff on a big TV, but on a tiny screen it's kind of like, well, I want to be able to see the Tetris that I'm playing, and like it's a really nice feature on the Switch that you can zoom in and just focus on the pieces and still hear the music and like get a little bit of the movement behind, because obviously it's a vertical board you're playing on, but like the ability to zoom in is just like, oh, it's such a nice touch. So
yes,
but yeah, I've been playing that. It's beautiful. The music is just amazing. I love the music in Tetris Effect to the point where like I don't know if I really want to play anything else at this point. But I've been playing that. I did download the extra characters in Smash as well.
I need to buy that.
So when we're done here, I'm gonna try to play as Sora in some stuff. But really, it's just been Metroid Dread and Tetris Effect. I've been trying to like this past week was obviously my last week at work, but it was still like, really busy, and I'm gonna try to catch up on some games this week. So
yes. Well, everybody, that has been it for Nintendo Pow Block. I want to thank you, Corey. Thank you, Jacob, for joining us. A lot of people are doing extra life and everything, so you guys could go out and find out who's doing it and go ahead and support those and donate and everything. I know some people are going to be getting ready to do 24-hour streams and everything, so yeah, do your best. If your favorite streamer is doing it, do go out and contribute to that. With that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we will see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.